What's up guys, it's Aiden, and today we're going to go through how French Montana's No Stylist was made on FL Studio. This beat was produced by London on the track, and for my Patreon supporters, the FLP and the stems are now available to you guys. This is actually my first identical remake, where we found all the samples that were used in the original song. I'm sure there are some differences in the way this track was mixed and mastered, and there were a couple of minor instruments towards the end that I didn't add, because they sounded like they were being played live. But as far as the beat is concerned, we've found basically every sample that was used here, and I will be showing you exactly how we know that towards the end of the video. But for now, let's focus on the arrangement. So we start off with the sample. You can find this sample on Looperman. It sounds like this originally. And this is a royalty-free sample available to everyone, so if you want to use this in your own music, you are legally allowed to do that. In FL Studio, we are taking up the pitch by 3 semitones, and we are making the time so it fits to the tempo of the track, which is 147 BPM. So it's going to sound like this without any effects. Then for effects, we're adding parametric EQ2, and we're cutting out the low end. Then we're automating halftime, so that's only active at 2 points during the song, so far. Then after 4 bars, we're introducing 2 vocal chops from a song called Long Red by Mountain. They sound like this without any effects. Then for effects, we're adding parametric EQ2 and RC20 retro color just to EQ the sound. Then we're adding some fruity reverb. So the samples now sound like this. And in the song. Then we're adding in this air raid horn, which sounds like this. But we're reversing it, so it's just going to be the end of the sample playing. Then we're moving into the chorus. So we have the sample playing. Then we're adding in this kick sample. And the reason I penciled in the kick is because it varies a lot throughout this song. Then we're adding in this hi-hat, and it plays this loop. And if we zoom in, you can see that the hi-hat isn't playing exactly on beat. It's playing about a 6th step away from the beat. And you'll see this a lot in popular trap music. It can help to make your song a little bit more bouncy. For the 808, there are 3 patterns that it goes through in the song, but the most common one is this one. And all together. Then we have the first snare, which is the Luger snare, and that's being backed up by this clap. So both of them together. And the clap is hitting just a tiny little bit beforehand. It's hard to see what clap is being used in the original song because the waveform is mostly covered by the snare, but it's really not that important, and I couldn't tell the difference between this and the original song. Then we have 2 more snares to go through. We have the BWB Radio Ready snare, as well as the Codeine Crazy snare. So they play together like this. And in the song. Then we have this synth that sort of sounds like a Rhodes piano. And I made this preset on Sylenth. London might have used Serum or Omnisphere, but this worked really well. We're using sine wave tables on both oscillators, but for oscillator 2, we've taken it up by 1 octave. Then we added a low pass filter, and we're modulating the cutoff using envelope 1. Then I just made it velocity sensitive using miscellaneous 1. And I didn't add any external effects, so it's just going to sound like this. And that plays at a few points throughout the song. That's basically everything. For identical samples, we have the kick, which also sounds the same. Then if we move to the end where there's no 808 interference, we can get a better look at the other samples. So we have the Luger snare, the second snare, which came from the BWB Radio Ready drum kit. So if you look at the waveforms, you can see it very clearly matching with the original song. Then we have the Codeine Crazy snare. If I take up the boost a little bit, you can clearly see it matching with the original song, just by looking at the waveforms. And also it sounds the same, which is the most important part. Then for the hi-hat, because it is such a high-pitched sound, you can't really compare the waveforms, but just by listening to it, it sounds exactly the same. So everything all together. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed the music playing in the background, you can check their channel in the link in the description. And if you want to get your own music playing on this channel, hit me up on Instagram at Aiden Kenway, and I will use your music in these videos. Discord server link in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time.